back from Madrid now, and I've got a job that I need to do on the van that I've been putting off ever since I bought it. So when I road tested the van, when I went to go and buy it, an ABS warning light and a traction warning light popped up on the dash, and not long after it went off like an intermittent fault. I didn't know what it was at the time, still don't really know what it was. Took the risk and bought it because if it was an engine light, it could have been absolutely anything and I might have left it, but being an ABS fault, it's going to be part of the ABS system. Worst case scenario, it's the pump. So I borrowed my mate's diagnostic tool, plugged it in, and I found ABS hydraulic pump fault in circuit, electrical fault. And these are the warning lights I've got on the dashboard. Well, the ABS light's actually off at the moment. Like I said, it's intermittent, but if I was to drive it down the road, it could take 5-10 minutes or it could come on instantly, but it's actually off at the moment. Just before I went to Madrid, I'd done some diagnosing of what it was. Checked the fuses, checked the power going to the ABS pump, checked the ground, and I've come to a conclusion that it is the pump. I had two options. One, buy a new pump or a second-hand pump. Two, take the pump off, send it away, get it reconditioned, bring it back and fit it. But I've heard mixed reviews on that sometimes they can't fix them. So what I've done is I've done a bit of Googling and I've managed to find a like-for-like ABS pump and control unit, which I've got outside, and I'm going to fit that today. This pump only cost me £90. It was from Lithuania. It's got a 30-day money-back guarantee with free returns if it doesn't fix the fault. Bearing in mind, I will have to code the new pump, bleed the brakes, obviously after fitting the pump. So today, that is what I'm going to be doing, fitting the ABS pump. Like I say, I've done a bit of diagnosing before I went on holiday, so I'll insert them clips now of me checking the fuses. I've already checked the fuses, but there's also a fuse under the battery, so I need to take the battery tray out and get to the fuse. And I also need to check the ground and power going to the ABS pump. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that today. I've got my multimeter here, just a cheap one, but I'm going to set it to 20 voltage. First thing to do, check battery voltage, 12.43. So that's the voltage that I should have at that fuse. It's going to leave the negative terminal on there. At one side of the fuse I've got 12.44 and the other side of the fuse 12.44, so that fuse is fine. Now I'm going to remove the battery. So I've got the negative terminal to remove first. Get out of the way. And the positive terminal. And then there's a 13mm bolt holding the battery to the battery tray. With a bracket on, so get that out of the way. Now just to lift the battery out without catching any of the wiring. The battery tray is held in by 4 13mm screws, so I'll take them out now. No power tools again because I haven't got any. So we're doing it old school. Ratchet and a socket set, that's all you need. And there's the battery tray out the way. Now this is the fuse box with another ABS fuse. There's T20 or 25 bolts holding that down. And there we have the fuses. So that 50 amp fuse there is what I need to check for the ABS pump. And now I'm going to check the resistance of this fuse, which should be 0 ohms. 0. As you can see there, just checking the resistance either side of that 50 amp fuse, and it's showing 0, so that's okay. No corrosion on the plug of the ABS. No corrosion on the pins. And here we have my new second-hand ABS pump. The breakers that I bought it from in Lithuania have actually marked all the screws to make sure that it's not stripped before it's being sent back to them, and this sticker here says void if broken. In case I try and take it apart, they'll void the warranty on this. So the ABS pump is quite accessible on these T5s. It's here, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 brake lines going into it, and then it just pulls out. When I was diagnosing the fault the other day, I had the battery out the van, and it made it a bit more accessible. So I'm just going to remove these trims and the battery, and then I'm going to be able to start removing the ABS pump. Now the fault code I got when I plugged the scanner in was 01276. Now that is the same fault code that you would get if you had a wheel speed sensor fault, an ABS pump fault. It could be a number of different things. That's why I had to go further in to diagnose what the fault was, because it wasn't actually a wheel speed sensor. That's the battery out. The battery tray doesn't need to come out because the ABS pump's just at the side of it. So you've just got to remove this at the front, and then these plastic trims just pull out the way. They're in individual pieces. That one's actually screwed down with a 13mm. As you can see, there's the ABS pump, and I've got more room now to get my spanner in to get the brake lines off. First thing I'm going to do is take a picture of the ABS pump, position of the brake lines, so I'm not putting the brake lines on in the wrong places. I might even put a bit of masking tape on and number them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's exactly what I'm going to do, because these brake lines are too similar. Better be safe than sorry. I don't want to put one in the wrong place. I'm going to number each one, so 1, 2, and then starting from the back, just going to put position 1, and the next one position 2, and so on, and then I'll know which position the brake line goes in when I fit the new pump. There we go, I've just got them brake pipes labelled up, so now I'm going to go ahead and start removing these nuts. I'm going to put a rag down the bottom to catch any brake fluid that may fall onto the under tray. It doesn't matter which order you remove the nuts on, but I'm just going to start the closest one, which is pipe number 4 that I've labelled up. These are very tight. 4 is very tight, but the next one isn't. Why is it so tight? Don't want to snap it, obviously. Wow, that is very tight. I hate working on cars, and now I'm working on vans. Something always seems to go wrong. Why is that so tight? Jesus. Right, it's loosening up a bit now, which is good. I wasn't feeling too confident then. I was looking at how far back this brake line goes in case I have to replace the brake line. Yeah, now we're talking. That is moving nicely. Before I take that one out, I'm just going to crack all the others off to make sure I'm not going to have this problem with any of the other ones. Just me being cautious now, isn't it? That one's alright. Last one. Crack it off. Yep, fine. Just this one. It was tight. Right, that is the first one all the way out. It's just sitting in position now. I've just got to take the other 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 off. I'm glad I took the battery out, because look at the position that I'm holding the spanner. It would have been hitting the battery, or at least the trims. I've got a lot more room now. Like I say, you don't have to take the battery out. You could hold the spanner that way, but being right-handed, it's easier for me doing it this way. I don't think it's much of a hard job changing the ABS pump, but obviously you've got to bleed the brakes and code it afterwards. But once these nuts are off, it's literally just unplug the electrical connector, put the new one in, and put the brake pipes back in. I actually booked in with a local VW specialist to get this diagnosed and repaired, but then I looked on the forums at how much people were paying to have these fault codes diagnosed and repaired if it was the ABS pump. The pump alone, brand new from Volkswagen, is £1,800 plus coding plus fitting. I seen a fella on a forum got a second-hand one supplied and fitted for 600 quid. Bearing in mind this pump cost me £90, so I could potentially be saving myself £500 by doing it myself on a driveway. Do you know what I could do with? Do you know them spanners that have got like ratchets in the teeth there? One of my old workplaces used to have them. They're so handy, but I haven't got any. I've got ratchet spanners, but not on the open end. Just ratchet ring spanners. I was actually up at like 5 AM today on my day off. I had to take Lauren to Manchester Airport. I was back home by like 6:30, so it's not too far away. Yesterday it was pissing down. I didn't think I'd be able to do it today, but the weather's alright now. I'd rather be in Madrid than doing this, so got my head under an engine bay on a Volkswagen T5, not ideal. How's your day off? Right, what is going on with this one? Oh my god, it's so tight. Maybe a set of mole grips. I've just sprayed a bit of WD-40 on the connection and I've got a pair of mole grips. I'm going to hold the black brake line whilst I try and loosen the nut, because at the moment it's just all spinning together. I don't want it to snap. It's working. Good idea, Kieran. Obviously you don't want to squeeze your mole grips too tight on the brake line, because you could then kink your brake line, cause a blockage. But yeah, this method's working. Holding the brake line with the mole grips whilst I'm loosening like this olive nut. To be fair, not much brake fluid to come out, which is a good sign. I don't want to tip it upside down when I'm removing it, because I can see there is a lot of brake fluid in the pump. It's quite clean brake fluid as well. Probably had a brake fluid recently. Also, if you do diagnose your van or car as an ABS pump, don't just buy a pump, take it off and take it to a garage and say, can you code this please? Because you actually need to get the long coding off the old pump. Chris has got the long coding saved on his VCDS computer, and he's also sent me a screenshot so I can go to another garage and give them the long coding code. But as Chris has it saved, I'm sure there won't be any problems coding it. And that's it, they are all out. Connectors off. Now I just need to lift the pump out without snagging any of the brake pipes or snapping them. Don't get much room moving the brake pipes out the way, bloody hell. Right, that's it. Pull them out the way. Pump is just sitting on like 2 rubber grommets underneath. I'm just trying to release it. I've got the front one off. You fucker. There we go. Oh, maybe there's 3 of them. One more this side. There we go. Right. That's a bit fiddly. Come on, baby. And there we have it. The old ABS pump. This is the old one, this is the new one. What I do need is bracket here. So they look like 10 mils, so I'm going to take them off. Take these off and swap it over to the new pump. Brake fluid everywhere. Doesn't look like it's dripped onto the floor under the van. Now I can imagine this is the fiddly part. So there's brake fluid absolutely everywhere. New pump and module goes this way. I need to move the brake lines. I want to try and put it back in the same way I took the old one out, which was something like this, without breaking anything. Move that rag out the way. Probably should have a torch, can't actually see where I'm lining it up with. Push in there and just drop these brake lines where they should go. Get them all started by hand. You don't want to just be cross-threading them with a spanner, although that back one and the front one that was tight, I probably will have to start them with a spanner. That's started. Let's just try the front one. Yeah, it's going in. Right, they're all nipped up. Now I'm going to plug the connector in before cleaning it up, because it'll seal the pins to make sure that no brake fluid gets in it. Slide that back in, and then you just push that down and click into place. Now that they're all on, I'm just going to nip them all up one by one. 3. Dry any residue. It'd be better if I had an airline just to blow it all off. And then I don't need these on the brake pipes anymore, so remove all the masking tape. And of course, if you are putting a rag down the back, make sure to remove it. Look at all that brake fluid that it's caught. I'm just putting the battery back in now before I bleed the brakes. You can bleed the brakes before putting the battery back in. It's just brake pressure, but I'm going to put the battery back in, finish off in the engine bay, make sure everything's tight. Tight, battery's tight. And now I need to bleed the brakes. I need someone to press the brake pedal as I crack off the bleed nipple on the brake calipers. My mum's at home today, so she's going to have to do it. But good thing about this van is it's on 20-inch alloys. It's not lowered, and there's a big gap here. So I can actually get underneath this and crawl all the way through it, to be fair. Press the brake pedal. Yeah, all the way down. Ready? Right, there comes the brake fluid. Close that. Come off the brake. Top the reservoir up. I actually repeated that bleed procedure twice with my mum pressing the pedal, topping up the reservoir in between calipers. As you can see, got a nice hard pedal now. It's even better than it was before. Of course, we've got the ABS light on now because the control unit's not coded. It's still drivable, so I can drive it to get it coded. I've just took the van around the block. Brake pedal feels fine, although I probably will end up taking it to get a full brake fluid change, front and rear calipers. As you can see, the lights still are on the dash, and they will be on until I get this ABS module coded, so I can't do much else today, but I'm going to give Chris a message and see if he fancies coding my module over the weekend. Alright, we've come back to see Chris today, as he's going to switch the long coding from my old ABS pump to the new second-hand ABS pump that I fitted last weekend. So this is the coding of the pump at the moment, and when we compared it to the coding that we got from the old pump, it's different. It's got a few different bits.
There's quite a few. There's about 5 or 6 bits that were different, so various bits along here. But when we go into the long code helper, it doesn't actually give you any details of what the long code refers to. I think what we're going to have to do is just copy and paste the old coding.
So this is the
supplied one, or the remanufactured ABS pump.
Yeah.
That's the code that was in there that they've then supplied. This is the one off the original pump. So one of the faults has come back on that one, saying that's the wrong coding. So whether it's seeing the wrong sort of module in there. So what we're going to do, we're going to give it the new coding.
coding accepted. So that should be my ABS control unit now coded to the van. We've also got a few other basic settings that we need to do. We need to do longitudinal and latitude basic settings, and brake pressure sensor, as well as steering angle sensor. They have all come from changing the ABS control unit.
So let's just clear all the codes into the basic settings. Let's go brake pressure. That's a nice easy one. So that's adjusted. Okay, so let's go back, see if that fault code's gone. Okay,
so that is it. Everything is now coded. We now have no warning lights on the dashboard of my van for the first time since I've owned it.
Well, that's managed to fix that. So that's the beauty of having a genuine cable of the Rostec variety. Probably one of the main reasons investing in a proper cable can give you so much better support than buying one of these random blogsy versions.
Maybe I need to invest in one of them to stop mothering Chris.
I might chip in for that.
But yeah, big thanks to Chris for sorting my van. So that's going to be the end of this vlog today. Hope you've enjoyed it. Make sure you like, follow and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube.
And if there's anything you've done differently or anything that could have been done better, leave a comment.
Let us know. And don't forget to follow Crispy Projects on YouTube. He's got his own T5 camper conversion on his driveway. Sure, his next video is going to be fitting some armrests like me.
No, it's not. It might be an engine swap.
Or an engine swap.
Not on something like that, something a little bit smaller.
You'll have to follow along to find out what's next.
Yeah, that's coming soon.